power ranking is very hard because this team just makes so much stuff that's impossible happen. But going into draft now, I really like them banning out this Twisted Fate. I love that they notice, hey, this champion punishes what we could do so well. Just take it off the table.
Remove the Twisted Fate, removing Graves as well from the jungle. So not super standard bans here from IG, but they're on the blue side, so they'll still get the first pick of the litter. We've only got one AD carry banned out right now, though. That's the Varus, taken off the board by EDG. If the Kalista came through, you have to bear in mind, that's a flex pick too for IG.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty strange because IG themselves have actually started banning out the Kalista in some of their series because Puff doesn't exactly play it, but it is open here. TheShy still does play it in solo queue. Instead, just wanting to opt towards that Syndra. And I would expect EDG to pick up the Aphelios, but they did first pick Kalista every game against WE.
Yeah, Hope looking amazing on the Kalista when he can get his hands on it. Also, Meiko's Sett. We literally saw it earlier today in our replays right at the start of this series. Meiko looks amazing on the Sett. He clearly knows how to make things happen with that engaged champ.
And it works. It's also a flex pick, right? So when you take it on red side, does leave IG asking questions. The other thing you could take if you're EDG is something like a Thresh, which obviously just gives you a very strong 2v2, but no, instead liking the way that Olaf worked. Obviously does well into pretty much every jungle matchup, so maybe wanting to keep some pressure on Ning and keep him off that recent form that he's began to found.
Ning potentially going with the same old pick that we saw in game number 1. I mean, the Lee Sin was certainly not the issue with what happened in game number 1, but Aphelios as well, locked in for Puff. So, similar story here so far for the side of IG. And not all too surprising, realistically. We've got a mage in the mid lane, we've got the Aphelios, we've got the Lee Sin again.
I feel a lot better for IG this time around, though, just from the fact that they do have that Syndra, because rookie Syndra is, you know, a sight. That, in the not just rookie Syndra, but when you take in fact how this champion doesn't have too many bad laning matchups and realizing what rookie does to people in lane makes it so it's going to be a very tough time for Scout.
Man, I was getting excited for a second there. They were hovering on the Talia, which, you know, fits in this category of roaming mid laners that want to influence the map. But the Galio certainly ticks that box as well. It's a little bit more standard.
I like they didn't pick Talia. It would just get insta-deleted at Syndra, by Syndra at any point post 6. So going to go with the same feel, but of course going to lose out in the early laning phase, but a lot more about this pressure around the map.
And a little bit of protection as well against the likes of a Syndra. Obviously, Galio got buffed recently, so his ultimate will spread his magic shield around the team. So a little bit more defense, even over towards Hope on the Kalista.
Yeah, and I want to see where EDG go with their next pick, because counter-picking support is much more common than counter-picking top, but when you're up against a player like TheShy, and EDG even put a lot of resources towards the top lane, I actually expect their last pick to go towards Aodi. And you still could go with that Sett and actually have that flex for both roles.
You can see Taric being banned away here by IG. It's important to mention that is specifically because Kalista is in the bottom lane. Taric Kalista is still an exceptionally strong duo, even though Taric has fallen out of the favor of the meta.
We still have seen him a few times around the world globally, so like you said, just offering very well against team compositions that want to run into you, or if you can enhance engage options on your team and give them that invulnerability as well as your stuns. So I like what EDG just did, drafting the Sett. They do have the flex potential, so IG just going to have to blind unknowingly.
Ornn available for them, and I think they might be about to lock this one in. This is something that Southwind... Oh, no. They're not going to lock in the Brawl.
That was a Southwind special, right?
That would have been a Southwind special.
That's what we knew him for in spring. Obviously pairs very well with the Aphelios, and I actually feel like it would have done decently well against EDG's comp, which just wants to run forward, and tagging your passive would have been well. But instead, we're going to get more of a proactive Southwind who has been much better this split. He's done a good job of trying to make plays and roam around the map. But when you're up against a Kalista, I really don't think you'll get that chance. Did you expect something else?
No, I didn't. I didn't expect anything else. The Jayce comes through for the TheShy in the top lane. It doesn't matter what's happening. He's picking the Jayce. Exactly.
You know what the TheShy's going to pick every time if he's going to have to blind pick his matchup. Of course, maybe we get some diversity if he doesn't have to blind pick, but I'd like if EDG did just go towards the Ornn here. You're going to have a ton of engage coming in. You have a good front line. You have very strong laning phases coming out as well.
And just, did you see the stats that came up for Ornn there? He has an almost 80% presence and over a 60% win ratio. That is disgustingly strong, and it's because so many of our top laners are so good at landing the ultimate, but also the value that he offers the entire team when it comes to the items.
And once again, I love what EDG put together because they have this Galio that's going to constantly punish what TheShy likes to do in the side lane. You're playing a very strong front-to-back teamfight composition. You have the frontline peel coming in from Aodi and Meiko, hoping to deal all that damage in the back line. And I also like that you're putting JunJia on more of a carry role as well.
I also like that the win condition here is a lot simpler for EDG. And I don't even mean that as an insult. I just mean that, like, it's very clear that there were some shot calling issues in game number 1. This time around, it's a lot simpler to just play this composition that wants to 5v5. It wants to just fight, group up, find picks, use this Galio ult, use the Kalista strength in the mid game, and snowball to a win.
I feel like it's just a very good philosophy to have when judging LPL teams on their drafts is which comp is easier to execute, which comp is the, straight up brawl, front to back team fight with lots of tanks and 1 or 2 carries in there as well. And that's typically the team that will come out ahead. So EDG going towards that, and you might look at their comp and think there's no real easy way for Galio to follow up and engage on a fight, but Kalista going to be able to throw in that Sett, going to set up for a great ultimate coming out from Scout, get a ton of knockups onto IG, and hopefully lead to a teamfight victory.
It's time for game number 2 here between IG and EDG. We mentioned the support matchup right at the very start of this series. We've got Southwind against Meiko, and both of them have been stepping up in proactivity in influencing the map. And we have 2 champions that can very much do that. Southwind on his Nautilus and Meiko on the Sett.
Let's also remember that both of these bot lanes have been able to find 2v2 kills in lane. EDG, even with this exact bot lane matchup against WE. So I'm really excited to see all the action we find from there. But moving to kind of overall win conditions for how IG want to play out this early game is you have the Lee Sin Syndra combination. Not going to be able to do too much into the Galio, but we will see Rookie naturally win out this matchup and hopefully lean and find pressure towards topside and support TheShy bullying out this Ornn.
EDG stacked in a brush right now, and they're going to go for this late invade at 120. Southwind spots them, and it means that IG can back away from this one, but Ning, he'd love to start off with this red buff. EDG gets some vision. Look towards the chickens. This is not why you're here, EDG. IG now collapsing onto this one. 4v4, flash from Southwind. Good damage from Rookie so far. Puff having to use his cleanse. And the fight will continue here.
Overall, EDG's level 1 is actually insanely strong with both Sett, Kalista, and Olaf. But like you said, good positioning from Rookie, allowing him to deal that free damage dissuades EDG, but they still were able to pick up a camp.
Yeah, they were able to get the chickens for themselves, and Ning, in the meantime, does get to go for his red buff in the end. So, all things considered, it's not a huge loss for IG.
Ooh, and he's actually going to look to invade JunJia. Rookie did hover mid first. Of course, just going to have Prio in this matchup when he's playing ranged against melee.
So JunJia trying to finish off this wolf. Ning gets in, steals it away from him. And JunJia is still going to look for this 1v1, because let's bear in mind, this is an Olaf. He's not afraid of a 1v1, but Rookie moving in aggressively, keeping his jungler safe, and now JunJia's kicked out of his own jungle. And
that's great by IG, recognizing the fact that they have priorities in their lanes, are able to go in and bully out the Olaf. And even on top side, right, Jayce can have a fine time in this early matchup. It isn't going to be until Aodi picks up something like the Ninja Tabbies or the Bramble Vest where he's really going to be able to deal with what Jayce is dishing out.
Really nicely done here from Ning and from the rest of IG to recognize this situation, recognize the win conditions. And this is what we were complimenting them for in game number 1 as well, right? They realized that the win conditions were not in their favor, and they played exactly how they needed to have a chance in that game at all. This time around, though, they're using that same knowledge to gain the advantage at the start.
And I'd say this time around they have a lot better of a comp to execute on, right? They have the snowballing potentials in both of their soul lanes. Puff's still going to be a big late game threat to deal with.
Facebreaker onto Southwind, Ignite ticking away as well as Hope jumps on forward. Rend was already used. Southwind barely walks away with his life.
And this is why you pick Kalista, right? To get this early lane advantage, especially with that Hail of Blades. Ooh, trying to find it.
Yeah, he wanted that snipe. He wanted to get the QE combo. But he's just going to force Southwind back and get a couple of shots onto the tower. Oh, Meiko wants to dive. He's not going to be able to.
And I want to see where do EDG go from here. You expect them to be the team that's going to play around the first strike since they should constantly have bot lane prio. And in 2 levels, Scout will have that ultimate available, so we'll be able to constantly cover whatever play JunJia wants to make.
Well, right now he's making a play towards this bot side Scuttle Crab. And this time around, Ning isn't on the scene, so he'll be free to just clear this one up. But look at the CS difference in the jungle already. Ning right now is 10 CS up on JunJia. JunJia's jungle has just respawned though, so he does have the opportunity to try and close that gap somewhat.
I love that we're seeing Rookie just bully out Scout. This is the way Rookie loves to play the lane, building up the wave. Not going to zone him off any experience, but still doing a great job.
Yep, and partly it's what you'd expect in this matchup as well, right? Syndra
of course
is always going to do well in the laning phase. It's one of the reasons that you often see Syndra such a high priority, but especially for Rookie, a player that does want to just dominate in this laning phase. Against a Galio from Scout, you're not picking Galio to win the lane. You're picking Galio so you can leave the lane entirely.
Yep, you are pretty much a neutralizing champion, not really looking for too much of an interactive laning phase. You do have a very strong 2v2 when you're paired up with these sort of carry junglers because you bring all the CC and durability, and then you have something like an Olaf come in and confirm that kill. But EDG just taking it slow for now, and I do just expect him to play for this dragon.
So the dragon has appeared on the map now. You can see it in the top left of your corner. We're starting off with a Cloud Drake. JunJia immediately, he agrees with you, Lyric, on this one. He's going to start things off. And you can see on your minimap, Ning is up on the top side of the map right now, so there's going to be no contest from IG.
They do see it, though, obviously. They have a ward in Dragon Pit. I think that's why JunJia was a bit hesitant, because he noticed the ward. He's like, oh, maybe we shouldn't go for this, but instead feeling more confident, and I want to see what Ning does up towards the top side of the map.
Aodi looks like he's playing pretty respectfully here, just backing away underneath his tower. Bear in mind, Scout is missing right now and has Galio ultimate, so it would be very dangerous to go for a dive onto an Ornn.
Aodi is feeling some pressure, though, is spamming those assist me pings, wanting JunJia to come help him. Doesn't exactly need a reset, but probably just wants to feel nice and safe.
Don't we all? That's one of the human needs, right? Safety. It's on that pyramid that the sociology.
I feel like there's a lot of positions where IG put themselves in where they don't feel safe.
Well, do you need human needs if you have inhuman ability in League of Legends?
God, what
I
are you
don't know.
saying? Do you need human needs if you have world skins?
True. Rookie's asking that very same question. He's going to be about 20 CS up already in this game. As we already mentioned, the Syndra versus Galio matchup is very heavily in his favor. One thing that is nice for EDG, though, is Aodi's doing a decent job of staying relatively even. Obviously, Ornn is going to fall behind this Jayce, but you'll see as the waves crash, he's able to soak up a lot of those minions and stay at least relevant.
And he even built more for the team, right? He didn't rush in early Ninja Tabbies or Bramble Vest. He's just going straight up for that Bomby Cinder and working his way to the Sunfire Cave first. So Aodi being a very selfless player.
And he's going to be able to just clear up some of those waves. So let's talk again about this matchup and what this actually means. So in case you guys missed our conversation right at the start of the series, both of these teams are 2-1 in the standings right now. But also, historically, EDG has had a massive edge on this matchup. They're 33-11 on the tally over countless years. In the last couple of years, though, IG have won this best of 3 6 times out of 7. So IG with a huge advantage. Bear in mind, this is the IG that won the World Championship. And EDG, they've had a rough couple of years, it has to be said. Since the end of 2018, they've not really been able to make much happen for themselves.
To be fair, even in spring, with these rosters, IG 2-0'd EDG, but instead EDG are posturing.
Kick goes down onto Meiko, but with a Galio here as well, they just can't finish off the Sett. Nice little combo from EDG. They're trying to deny this Rift Tower, but TheShy wants to run in, so does Ning. They're desperate to go for this one. EDG maybe overcommitting for this one as the members are starting to fall. JunJia goes down. Aodi's there as well. And Scout can't get away because the Sonic Wave is already connected. Double kill for Ning.
And IG were the ones who were able to get the Herald as well as win the fight, so we wanted this composition to start a snowball, and they're going to be able to do that.
And you know what? EDG overcommit right there to trying to defend the Eye of the Herald. When you die for 3 people and you still lose the Herald, that's the worst case scenario.
And Puff is going to be able to get some turret plates, and Hope is missing out on so much XP and gold.
Everything going a little bit awry here for
so,
EDG.
Like you said, EDG are trying to protect that Eye of the Herald. IG just able to kill Meiko easily as EDG don't really have any way of engaging into IG. Scout already so low, and Aodi now being forced to flash out.
So not the greatest start here for EDG.
That was really strange because EDG were standing on the Eye of the Herald saying walk into us, and IG are like, but we're a range champions. We don't need to do that. And then just killed them all.
I think maybe EDG were overestimating quite how quickly the Eye of the Herald was going to vanish. Because it felt like they were kind of stood there and they were like, hey guys, what's the next step here? How do we get out of this?
I mean,
and they all kind of look at each other like, oh, wait.
Were you listening to EDG's Game 1 comms? Because those sound like EDG's Game 1 comms.
This feels like a similar issue, right? It's like, all right, make this play. Wait, why? Oh, good question.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, Joe, you're piercing into EDG's soul.
This is the game knowledge that us play-by-plays bring to the table.
Now, with that man immune, TheShy going to be able to constantly try and bully out Aodi in the top side. Going to be able to guarantee some more plates for himself. And
Scout wants a 1v1 onto Rookie here. It's a good amount of damage that he's found. JunJia is a little bit late. Well, that maybe could have been a kill. Aodi realizes he's in a bit of trouble. He's just going to knock up Ning. And, I mean, he's going to go down. Ning forced to flash. The turret nearly finished him off himself.
The impressive thing about that play is it was one of the only small windows you had where Scout didn't have either TP or ultimate. So great job by IG to recognize that window.
Just look at the gold right now. You can see it on the left. Everyone on IG is ahead of their lane opponent right now. And importantly, there is only 4 kills that have happened, but there is a 4,000, almost 5,000 gold lead at the 11-minute mark. And this is why IG is never to be counted out of a series. Rookie, however, just to ruin my point, does get caught out.
You know, I feel like that happens with IG the most. When you're making a point praising them and then something suddenly happens, but this gold lead not going to get any smaller either with the fact that we see TheShy just constantly picking up more and more turret plates in the top half of the map.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the CS numbers across the board. You've got a 40 CS lead in the mid lane. You've got almost a 40 CS lead in the top lane as well. And, well, EDG in a position now where Dragon's spawning on the map once again. You look at their composition and you say, hey, they should be contesting for early objectives, right? But ultimately, can you still do that at this point?
Yeah, you don't typically pick Olaf without your goal in mind being to get to 4 Drakes as quickly as possible, but IG preventing that, getting on the map first, dropping the Herald as well, so getting a ton of gold.
Aodi's in trouble here. Good Bellows Breath to dodge the stun, but ultimately Rookie still has damage. Doesn't quite get him low enough to use the unleashed power. And Aodi walks away.
But now EDG should feel confident to force a Drake because Rookie doesn't have TP.
Hang on, we've got a taunt onto TheShy. Gets the Thundering Blow, but it's not going to keep him safe here. The damage might, though, as Scout will fall down. TheShy, 1v3, gets a solo kill.
Yeah, ultimately ends up being a 1-for-1, but EDG had to commit way more to that than IG. So IG are going to be rewarded with this Ocean Drake.
Very nicely done by IG, and once again, they're the ones getting Drakes in the early game. EDG got that first Cloud, but it's going to be answered now at the 13-minute mark, and we're going on to an Infernal Rift. So get ready for some Blast Cones.
Yeah, so just a nice, fun change on this patch is all those Blast Cones added to the Infernal Rift. I really want to see IG just secure that turret in the top side, which will free up TheShy more to hopefully lean towards mid lane and give Rookie more pressure in his own matchup. Actually, with the Rift Herald coming up as well, you could just swap those lanes around and send your bot lane towards topside, secure that objective, and
And when we talk about lane swaps as well, I love that. Hang on. Rookie's in trouble. Nice flash from Rookie. Manages to dodge that one. Dodges the knock-up as well, but oh my days, Rookie is so good at League of Legends. 1v2 survives. Ning slides into the fight as well. And this is why we praise IG.
Rookie showing us that he is still a competitive top 2 mid laner, not only in the LPL, but the world. This guy pretty much single-handedly is keeping IG relevant this split.
That was insane. I was ready to write Rookie off, but the flash was perfect. Dodges the knock-up, 1v2, and buys just enough time for Ning to arrive.
And let's remember this guy has the lion's share of his team's damage percent, as well as having the highest damage percent of any mid laner in the LPL.
Rookie very much still in the conversation for the best mid laner. Not even in the LPL, in the world. And like a lot of people are starting to lean towards Knight now, but Rookie, with the way that he's kept IG relevant, is very much in that battle.
The thing is, IG becoming a really questionable and bad team has been the thing to strengthen that argument, right?
Yeah.
It's been the thing showing us, oh my god, this player does so much for this team. Even when he's completely disrespecting, he's the one keeping this team in the game.
Rookie is honestly a mid laner to behold. If you are an aspiring mid laner, if you want someone's VODs to watch, pick Rookie. Aodi's in trouble in the meantime though, and Ning is here once again. Aodi flashes over the wall, gets a searing charge to safety, and Ning just jumps back into the pit to finish off the Rift Herald. And if there's one thing that you cannot ever criticize IG for, when they have a lead, we get a pro view, let's take another look.
Yeah, doing so well to flash that ultimate, hits the R, already has all the orbs down, lands the double stun just beautifully, isn't missing a single Q, which buys Ning enough time to get here. Just magnificently played from Rookie, and doesn't even break his like stone-faced expression.
Yeah. No, I feel like he'd already read that. He was like, oh, they're trying to 1v2 me? This is such an easy matchup. Oh, Rookie. And this is why we love to watch Rookie in the mid lane. This is why you were so excited about the Syndra pick when it was first locked in the draft, because Rookie can do this.
That's one of his best champions in my book, and just one of the best champions in the game. Again, has almost no bad lane matchups, is always relevant. You have the potential to burst almost anyone 100-0. Just a great champion to have your star player on.
That is for sure. And do you know what? Do you know who else is one of the star players of IG? Is Puff. And he's also got a pretty good champion
Round 2?
himself. Scout now the one to start this one off. Unleashed Power not going to quite do enough, but dodges the taunt. And Rookie just cannot BCC'd. Aodi charges in, doesn't quite get the knock-up, but Rookie is all out of damage. And 1v4 doesn't quite have enough in the tank.
It's actually crazy to think about. Had that only been a 1v2, he would have won.
Yeah.
Look at Scout and Aodi's health bars.
It is insane. And in the meantime, by the way, you committed 4 people to killing the Syndra at the top side, so say goodbye to all of your towers in the bottom lane.
Right now we are at an 8k gold lead. TheShy can have a great time in these side lanes, and sure, Jayce's not the best pick when you're up against a team comp that is stacking so much armor, but at the same time, you're just so far ahead, it doesn't really feel like it matters yet.
It really doesn't. I mean, just look at the gold difference, right? 7,000, something along those lines. I can't count very well, but...
And add in a bunch of Infernal Drakes?
Yeah.
Only going to feel better.
Like, and let's just reiterate the win conditions here for EDG, because when you look at this composition, it's about snowballing off of Kalista. It's about playing around the Galio, roaming around the map, making early plays happen. You don't get to do that against an IG that's ahead of you. They are never going to allow you to play that style. It took 4 of you to be able to even try and finish off Rookie. Never mind the rest of the team.
Another facet of EDG's composition is it wants to play together as a 5-man unit. But with IG having this big of a gold advantage, they're never going to let you get those sort of fights. They're going to stay pulled across the map, having TheShy split push, constantly putting pressure on Aodi. And IG are the ones with all the options. The good thing for EDG is they will constantly have this global pressure coming from the Galio. So if you can try and set up a fight where you have numbers advantage and Rookie doesn't have the TP, there is your avenue into the game.
basically EDG have to play this game how IG played the last game, right?
Yeah.
They don't have the superior scaling composition. They don't necessarily win in the late game. And so they need to play around mistakes out of their opponent.
I'd say one thing I want to see right now is them try to create a pick on the side lane against Rookie, so send JunJia and Scout.
No, please. We've seen that twice, and it doesn't look good. That is not how.
How do we set out win conditions if these guys break the rules of the game, Munch?
That is the question, isn't it? They could maybe go for TheShy. He's been pretty good at dying this split.
I mean, you do have the same amount of CC, right? You have Call of the Forge God into Olaf damage, so that's there, but feels like getting Rookie's flash, and especially if you can then burn his TP and then trying to create that numbers advantage with the Galio ultimate, is something you'd rather do.
Yeah, I'm not sure if rather is an option for EDG at this point. I'm not sure if they get to min-max their plays when they're this far behind.
Though I guess one thing about if they do end up killing TheShy, I was going to say Zenny's forced to group, but actually right now he's not forced to group. He's just choosing to group and the team walking in to get vision together.
I just love how hopeful this conversation is. The EDG are the ones in the driver's seat, that they get to choose what play they're making on the map, because based on the game I'm seeing on my screen, I don't see EDG being the proactive playmakers anytime soon.
Not anytime soon, but the decent thing about their comp is since it does have a bunch of sturdy frontline tanks, they can always walk into face check vision like this. My thing about EDG's comp is when you actually do have like hard CC and a good frontline, you're never completely out of the game. But with the way IG's playing on these champions,
I mean, you're not completely out of the game, but you are, you know, 22.7% out of the game. As our Kentucky Fried chart there from the Colonel. They've been improved, by the way. They've got more.
JunJia, Scout.
Hang on. Scout's in trouble. He's going to be able to use the barrier to keep himself safe for now. Taunt isn't quite going to land as Southwind gets the knock-up. It ruins the... Wait, what? Justice Punch still went through anyway. And he's going to get away with it. Justice Teleport.
I like how Scout also forces JunJia to have to blow his ultimate.
And there won't be any hesitation from IG. You remember how EDG in Game 1 were hesitating on going for the Baron?
They even set up their bot lane wave to put some pressure on EDG as well, so nice map setup coming out from IG.
Oh, TheShy is going for a 1v4 while his team does Baron. In with the Moonlight Vigil, in with damage from Rookie as well. Scatter the Weak is exactly what he does, and Hope barely keeps Meiko alive. Baron gone to IG.
And I love the way that IG played that. Doesn't matter if TheShy sacrificed himself, jumped in, allowed Puff to throw out that Moonlight Vigil, which pretty much guaranteed JunJia's demise, and Rookie just layering a bunch of AoE damage on the other members as well. So one goes down, but you get 3 kills in return and a Baron.
If IG now win this series, this will be the most EDG loss that we could see, right?
I feel like it'll be both,
Game
though, right?
number 1 starts so promisingly. It looked like EDG, like, oh, these guys are here to play. These guys are going to be a top team in the LPL once more. And then it all gets a bit shaky. Then Game 2 you come in, and IG just stomp.
Let's see this once again. So TheShy making a good call, jumping onto JunJia, just trying to secure his death so they can get Baron. Good Moonlight Vigil coming out from Puff, as well as we just saw all the AoE thrown out by Rookie, forcing EDG to run away.
It was a good face call from Hope just to keep Meiko alive.
Going back to your conversation, though, if IG win, this is the most EDG loss, but also the most IG win I've seen, right? Going that distance in Game 1 and then pulling it off with a stomp like this, and then whatever we see in Game 3.
Game 1 goes like that, and they're like, what? We have to try? Fine, all right. We'll try for the rest of the series. Aodi's caught, knocked up, and flashes into the brush, but I don't think that's quite going to save him. Maybe it will. Puff finishes the kill with his Infernum. In goes Ning as well, and this is just going to be IG picking EDG apart one by one. Scout couldn't even get into the fight.
Though, that was actually Aodi looking for the engage with that E, not necessarily IG finding the pick. So, roles have reversed this time around. EDG finding that clutch engage for IG.
And IG are not looking to stall out this one. They're not looking to be indecisive. They're looking to end right now with the Baron buff. Still 3 members down for EDG, but the death time is very short. They're up in 5 seconds. it's possible for EDG to hold on to things here. But maybe I'm being a little bit too hopeful on this one. Southwind pulled to the back line. A scout turns himself golden to keep safe. Rookie survives with a beautiful flash. And that's going to be all she wrote for EDG in game number 2 as IG even up the series.
And IG coming out with a dominant win after that game.